Girls Gone Sports, hey, Girls Gone Sports. Show me you reppin' your team with Santina and Jeanine. Hey, Girls Gone Sports, hey, Girls Gone Sports. We steady getting it hype. Hey, I know that you gonna like. You know it's poppin'. If it's a game, you know that we watchin'. We gonna talk football or basketball. All sports, come get involved. Hey, Girls Gone Sports. Woo!
Welcome back to episode 39 of Girls Gone Sports Podcast. Girls Gone Sports. Oh, we made it to 39. And Santina's wearing Bills merch.
Don't be mad at me, my family.
Hey, Santina.
Hey, Jeanine.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Santina, I'm feeling, I don't want to say festive because, you know, we're out of the holiday season. I'm feeling nervous, honestly.
You have little butterflies?
I do, because we have a really important games happening this weekend, which we're going to be talking about in this episode, and I feel like that's all my mind can think of right now.
I know. I mean, you guys are doing really well.
Thank you.
And
thank you for repping us.
Thank you, of course.
She's like,
anytime.
I don't even know who I'm wearing, but
what is this?
that's your bag. Well, welcome back to Girls Gone Sports Podcast. Or if this is your first time joining us, we want to say thank you so much for deciding to join us here today. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you are subscribing to our YouTube channel, you're liking this video, and you are hitting that notification bell so you never miss an episode of Girls Gone Sports. Because, Santina, why would you want to?
There's no reason.
There literally is no
Just
reason.
click it and watch it.
It's playoff season at this point. Just be nice.
They're going to miss us.
Yeah, and they know what they need us. And if you are listening on Spotify or on Apple Podcasts or wherever you stream your podcast, thank you so much for joining here with us today. Now, Santina, we are in one of the most exciting moments of the football season. Besides the start, the end. We're in playoff season, babe.
Yes.
I'm excited. Santina, we got some information to share with our amazing viewers today about who won, who lost, what's it's going to look like for the next few weeks of football, and I'm excited to dive right in.
I am very excited. Well, to start this off, you guys came in like ready.
Like, thank you so much.
So to start, we have the Bills versus Broncos game. Guys, 31-7.
Yep.
A touchdown's worth. You like, it's like the Broncos, they score in the beginning. Okay, you're like, okay, well, maybe they'll start it off. They'll score. Right. It's going to be a close game. Nope. As soon as the Bills scored their first touchdown, score after score after score. Yep. They did not give it up, and they would not let the Broncos score anything.
Literally. Like, I just remember, like, the first, like, I feel like it was, like, the first drive, like, the Broncos, like, scored, and we were like, we are in trouble. Like, SOS. And then after that, it just, we couldn't let them make anything happen. Like, gotcha. And it was just such a great game because it gave me, like, the high hopes that I needed, especially after the Broncos had just beat the Chiefs, even though they didn't have their starters, first of all, and they had 0 points. But anyway, I was a little nervous, as every fan is for your team in the playoffs, because as you know, you lose, you go home. There's no do-overs. There's no next week. It's you're done for the season.
Yeah.
So I was very nervous, but we just kept holding them back, and I loved it. We were score after score. We even brought Mitch Trubisky in, our QB2, and if you know, like, if you bring Trubisky in, you know we're resting Josh Allen because we feel confident that we're going to be at the top for the rest of the game. Yep. So cheers to the Bills. Fingers crossed for next week, and then I'm not sitting here heartbroken for the next episode, but we're going to talk about that in a little bit.
You guys made it pretty far.
Thank you.
But also during this game, the Broncos tried to fake a punt. Yep. They got possession, still couldn't make anything happen.
I know. I saw Santina. I think that's the part where you texted me and you were like, you tried it.
What a waste.
You tried it. Literally, what a waste. I'm like, you're trying to, like, make something happen, but you can't make it happen.
They tried. They did.
They really tried. Yeah, sorry, Broncos. You're outie. But with the you know what's so funny about the Broncos, Santina? Like, they haven't won a playoff game since 20. Did you say same? Literally me. They haven't won a playoff game since 2016. Their Super Bowl. Wow. So they won the Super Bowl in 2016. The Broncos since then have had 6 head coaches and 14 different starting quarterbacks. My God.
That is so many.
That's like, okay, well, think 2016. What are we? 9 years? 9 years? Yeah. 9 years ago. Every year, it's basically new coach or like 14 different quarterbacks in 9 years.
That's just like, that would be too much change for me.
I just feel like then you really never have the time to develop rhythm as a team and really develop that culture and nourish that. So if you're just having so many turnovers with people, you're never going to foster that environment. So that might be where the Broncos a little tricky, but I'm honestly very proud of them for making it this far. Good job, Denver, but I'm sorry. I love my Bills. I love my Bills.
That was a good game. Good game.
Yeah.
Next, we have the Ravens versus the Steelers,
Woo!
28-14.
Division lineup.
Yep. Last week, I chose for the Steelers to win, okay? This game, they looked a little frazzled. They looked, I don't know, the nerves. Looks like the nerves really got to them this game.
I feel like it's like, okay, so Ravens and Steelers, it's always like, oh my God, division rivals. The Steelers, like you said, Santina, they look frazzled. Like, I feel like they did not look like they were going to a playoff game. They did not look put together. Some of the plays, I'm like, what are we doing here? And obviously the Ravens are amazing. They were amazing last year. They're even better this year. We got Lamar. It's just, they're a really great team. So in order to be best prepared for a team like that, you need to be on your game. You need to know everything that's going to happen. Your defense needs to work twice as strong. And they just weren't honestly delivering for this game, which led to their downfall.
I just couldn't have my coach, Mike Tomlin, staring at me, arms crossed, beanie on. I would be like, he was probably so mad. He's like, we made it this far. You guys to lose.
It's like Coach Tomlin, he's amazing because he's produced like Super Bowl wins in the past, so many. But like all the media is saying like, well, at least he didn't have a losing season. Like we have to do better.
Like
than
us?
This. Well, if you think about it, Santina, the Jaguars, right? What were you guys? 3-12? No,
I don't even.
3-13,
3-12.
3-14.
Her quarterback getting rid of the coach. I don't.
If you think about it, it's a magic trick, right?
Right.
It's like it's kind of like the Wizard of Oz. Let's put on the show, but really behind the curtain is the wizard. So it's like there's something.
We're in charge of all of it.
I think maybe they're like in a legal battle right now, and the Jaguars are going to come out. Yeah. So the Jaguars are going to come out. What'd you say?
With who?
Like, what's another animal? Like a
Panther?
lion. Oh, the Panthers. Okay, Panthers, lions. What is it? Animals should be seen, not heard. But the Jaguars,
the legal battle.
Yeah, you guys are going to come back sooner rather than later. I promise you, Trevor Lawrence.
Thank you. Anyways, the Steelers. Last playoff win was 2017. Wild card.
That's the last time they won a playoff game.
So kind of like the Broncos. No, Broncos won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, in 2016. So 8 years ago was the last time they were able to secure a playoff win.
Good for them, though. They're back.
You know what? You guys are coming back. Like, you're making it work. Coach Tomlin, you just have so many victories under your belt. So do what you got to do until you retire. I don't know when he's going to retire, but just keep doing you. Keep doing you, babe.
You got it's always next year.
There's always next. That's my favorite. There's always next year.
Always next year.
Well, we also had the Texans and the Chargers. That game was 32-12. I feel like once you're more than 10 points away, it's like, yikes. How are you going to come back from that?
It's like, give up. And then the Chargers, their last playoff win was in 2019, the wild card.
So we have these teams, right, that haven't won in a little bit.
5+ years.
Right. And they're kind of coming back with some vengeance. They're coming back to prove that their city has what it takes.
But they're also playing really tough teams this season.
Right.
So, I mean, you have to... They did something good to make it to the playoffs, I guess.
I feel like right now, like, playoffs, it literally is like this, like the definition of it. Like, this is the teams that did what they need to do to survive. If they might have been starting, they had a losing record at the beginning of the season, and now they made it to the playoffs. Like, these are the teams that have proven themselves, like, we can do it, we want to make it, and it's just every man for themselves. So, yeah, these next few weeks are going to be very interesting, because we've got so many good teams coming up. Then we have the NFC, of course, because in the NFL, it wouldn't make sense. I guess it could be. If all of the teams were just kind of together in one big conference, how would you divide it up? How would you figure out who's going to play different teams? We have the AFC and the NFC. So it's split kind of like in half. And then at the Super Bowl, there's an AFC team and an NFC team.
I like that.
It's kind of like capture the flag, right? You got a red team and a blue team, or like a boys and girls, I don't know,
Yeah.
purple and yellow. We're just putting it up, making it even, making it easier.
There you go. I kind of like that.
Maybe we should be refs.
I would be like, okay, well, how much are you going to give me for me not to go?
I'm like, you know what? I felt bad for him. He tripped. I'm going to look away.
It wasn't his fault.
I'm like, you know how?
He didn't mean to do it.
Well, you know how sometimes, okay, well, Santina's cousin plays basketball. And I noticed that if you have to tie your shoe, they stop the game.
Jeanine loves when
I love it because I'm like,
shoe.
why not apply this to the NFL? If I got
Right.
a timeout, do you think they would? Or no, they would have to call a timeout.
I feel like they'd call a timeout or now
Delay a game or
question. So like in basketball, you can easily sub in people.
Right.
Is that something you can do in football? You know, remember last night you were like, oh, why, or the other game, why are they sitting in front of like the little table?
Right.
I said, oh, they have to wait for the ref or someone to call a timeout and then they can, you know, switch the players. Can they do that in football?
They switch. I see them switching people out, or like if a really good player just did a really good like play, then they'll swap him out.
Okay.
Usually like in between, I would say downs. Now, guys, if I'm wrong, again, we know something ish about sports. This is just what I viewed from TV and you know all that stuff.
I like the tying shoe concept. It's really smart, especially if you want like a little extra break. Remember, I was like, get the bunny ear.
Right.
You go
Get the
around.
Velcro, close it, open it back up.
Yeah, I feel like for girls, we could have more timeouts, but not having 2 hours. Putting the hair up. I'll be like, oh my God,
Right.
mascara in my eye. I need a makeup wipe.
Where's
or
my
something.
chapstick?
Right, I need the Aquaphor. And you know, girls,
Right.
we just love to always apply deodorant. I'd be like,
Right.
wait, I need the deodorant. I need my Tree Hut body cream. to
My mom texted me. Give me a second.
But yeah, I think that's a good rule.
Yeah, I agree. But anyway, back
Rams
to,
and Vikings.
to the NFC. Santina, Rams and Vikings. Now, this game, I definitely thought, like, Vikings got this. Rams, I'm like, Vikings are sweeping them. No, why was the score 27-9?
I feel
9?
like it's like the Bills and Broncos.
Yeah.
They're like, okay, as soon as the Vikings score, oh, we're done. Like, they're going to come back with vengeance. No. Why?
Yeah.
I feel like the majority of these games, the one team scored way high. Like, usually they're kind of like
Right.
neck and neck. I just feel like there was a big, you know.
I also got that vibe this week where it's like teams had a lot of points and the other team kind of felt like they gave up. And isn't it crazy to think that the Vikings, remember the first, I believe they were 6-0 at one point?
Yeah.
Remember they were undefeated? We kept bringing that up. That's crazy that they only got 9 points. But you know what? It happens. Things happen for a reason. And the Vikings' last playoff win was in 2020 in the wild card again.
Pretty close to the other ones because we had, what, 2016, 2017,
2019,
2020.
Yep. So some teams are coming back. Getting
They're
off
like,
that
we're
COVID,
ready.
COVID ledge. Yeah.
We're ready.
They are ready. Now,
Well,
Santina,
yes.
speaking of ready, speaking of being on command,
Oh,
the Commanders.
literally. So the Commanders versus Buccaneers game, 23-20. Now,
There
I
we
like
go.
to see these games.
This is what it all probably just came down to a field goal, 3 points.
Yeah. So first of all, congrats, Commanders. Last year, why were they 4-13, and this year they were 12-5? Now, if their coach or whoever really gave them like a lesson last year, really spoke to them at the end of the season to say, hey, next year you need to try harder. Can we have that? Can you maybe go to the other
we get
teams?
that vibe.
But
I think they have a new QB. The Commanders, they have a younger new QB.
Yeah.
But that, Santina, like you said, I'm so glad you brought that up. The fact that they were 4-13 last year and basically flipped themselves around.
Yep.
12-5. Way to have a great comeback story for that team. That's awesome. I think it's actually for their franchise. I think it's like the what's the word? Like the strongest comeback, highest comeback.
Good for
That's
them.
right. Good job, Commanders. You guys, you're doing the thing. And the Buccaneers, I kind of do like Baker Mayfield, the QB of the Buccaneers. So, you know, it's time to go. Tom Brady left. It's time to sit down, guys.
Yeah, but I think the Commanders, you know, they're really out for something this year because they have only won twice within the last 19 years.
In a playoff game?
Yes. So they won the wild card back in 2006 and just now with this last game. 19 years. Isn't that crazy?
Wait, so they've only won twice, two playoff games in the past
19
years. 2006, so almost 20 years ago.
Yep.
And that was against the Buccaneers as well.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh my God. So history's repeating itself.
Yeah.
And then they just won out.
Yep.
You know what? Where's the applause? Guys, where is it? Like, congrats. I feel like that's well deserved. If I feel like if I had to pick a team of the week, it's gonna be the Buccaneers. Or excuse me, the Commanders.
Isn't it crazy? In 2006, we were like in kindergarten.
Guys, we were in kindergarten. We were 5. Well,
we were there at the game.
We were there at the game. I remember section 132, popcorn in hand. I was like, oh my God, I have school tomorrow, but I'm not going. Like, it was
and then
great.
we got on the Jumbotron, and then they actually asked us to go down and be the water girls.
Right. And then remember we were down there, we had the Gatorade, the water. They were like, oh my God, we wish we could hire you, but like child labor laws. And
right. And then that's where we got this helmet from. And then we did reach out to the Commanders, the Commanders or the Buccaneers, whoever gave us the helmets back in 2006. Right. We asked if we can paint over when we wanted to start the podcast, then slap the logo on there.
Right.
So yeah, a fun fact, we were there back in 2006.
We flew there.
Yeah, we had our parents signed off for us to use one of the chaperones.
Right.
And it was a fun experience.
Like, I just remember being 5 years old on the Commanders field being like, this is my life. I'm going to make a podcast one day. Yeah, it happened.
Fast forward 19 years.
Here we are in the guest bedroom of my house.
And thank you. And Jeanine also sponsors my little cousin's athletic department.
Guys, so you know how at like at like basketball games, football games, whatever, they have concession stands at the schools, right, to raise money.
Yeah.
Now they accept Cash App and Venmo,
dangerous.
Which is so dangerous because I'm just a girl. I don't carry cash, right? I don't I don't carry cash unless I get it. The fact that they had Venmo and Cash App, I'm like, this is dangerous. I'm going to be coming back and forth. Well, with the popcorn, with the drink. You want candy? You want a pretzel? It's on me.
I feel like when you have like a little snack when you're watching a game or a sporting event I think I read something where it's proven when you're watching like a movie or a show, you're prone to always snack.
Is it because like you're in the zone? So you're like, oh.
I don't know. I read it somewhere, so I'm like, okay, so it's fine if I snack during this.
Right.
But I feel like when you watch like a sporting event, it just makes it more fun when you have like a little Skittles or popcorn. And also, she did put the popcorn in my mom's bag. I did. Because they don't allow it into the game.
Why would you sell it then if I can't bring it into the game?
I know, but we're kind of the regs, right? So I feel like they know us. They're like, okay,
was it a season ticket holder? Season
pat or
season
ticket holders.
Season ticket holders.
Yeah, we have a little suite. Someone did take over our section or people, but that we have moved to the middle of the bleachers, which we like. I like
it because like I feel like we're right on the court. Yeah, I feel like for some reason, even though it's all the same bleachers, it's a different set of bleachers because when I sit there after a while, like it starts to hurt. Yeah, but the other section I was fine.
We were making friends.
We were laughing with the people.
Right. Yes.
But anyway, yeah, guys, that's dangerous.
Good job, Commanders.
Please do not put Venmo and Cash App. I will buy everything.
Well, next we have.
Speaking of buying, packing bags, Eagles and Packers 22-10. Like, wow. I knew the Eagles were going to win. Come on. I feel like you knew that too.
But,
like,
I mean, the Packers, their last playoff win was in 2021, so not that long ago.
Right. So they're slowly climbing up. What's that? What do we say?
The ladder or the opening
in the
door.
Hunt?
Yeah, in the hunt. So they passed the Jaguars. But I think out of the AFC and the NFC, the games I liked were the Bills and the Broncos and the Rams and the Vikings. I think those were the most exciting.
Yes, I feel like, Santina, the Rams and the Vikings, I just have to agree with you. Like, I thought that the Vikings were just going to come in and sweep it up. And it's just always fun when football surprises you and you get those cool moments. Yeah. But now that we know who's going to be in the playoffs, before we talk about what's going to happen this upcoming weekend, Santina, we have to talk about the new spots that we have discovered for the draft. First round draft.
So last episode, we gave you guys spots 1 through 18 in the draft. Now we have spots 19 through 24. If you don't hear your teams on here, means, they still have a chance to go to the Super Bowl. But starting at 19, we have the Buccaneers, the Broncos at 20. 21, we have the Steelers. 22, we have the Chargers. 23, Packers. And 24, Vikings.
That's nuts. It's just, I feel, so Steelers are what round?
Steelers are 21.
I feel like they're kind of always average around there.
Yeah.
Anyway. But the more games we see, we're going to see who's getting a better round pick each week. And this upcoming weekend, Santina, we have some really important games. Like, I think I need to look through the camera and say this. The game, like the Bills, I'm not even afraid to play the Chiefs, okay? What I'm afraid, and I'm admitting this as a Bills fan, is to play the Ravens. We got 2 quarterbacks up for MVP, Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson. The Ravens, they already beat us once this year. And I'm just very nervous because the Ravens defense is incredible and ours sometimes needs some work. And the Ravens, I feel like, are coming back for vengeance because they were almost going to go to the Super Bowl last year and they didn't. And I'm very nervous, but it does make me feel a bit better that we are playing at home in Buffalo. But I think if we can beat the Ravens, then I have no doubt in my mind that we could beat the Chiefs.
I feel like the AFC game, the Ravens versus Buffalo, I feel like I can't talk to Jeanine during that game. Because I'm like, if I want to show her something, I just want her to have her complete focus.
Thank you.
I remember, I'm not laughing. I remember last year I was here because the Bills were in the playoffs last year, right? Mm-hmm. When they lost, I've never seen a fan. I was just like, I don't know what to do. So like, she started crying. I felt so bad. So now, but like the Steelers throughout the whole season, they did extremely well.
Yes.
So you probably thought, oh, okay, well, when they get to the playoffs, they're just going to keep playing the same. They're going to win. The Ravens might choke.
I'm kind of hoping that, God forbid, I don't want to proclaim anything bad because then I don't want to get that back on me. But I'm just really hoping that the Bills can prove like this is our year. We have been playing like the best football I feel like in the past like 5 years, and I'm really hoping that the Bills can pull through and we can make it to the Super Bowl. So I'm predicting that the Bills will win this game. Santina, who are you predicting will win?
Well, since I'm wearing a Bills jersey, I'm going to choose the Bills.
Thank you so much for having me back.
Of course.
Thank you.
Well, best of luck to you.
Thank you.
Next, we have the Texans and the Chiefs. Now, I don't want to just say the Chiefs, but I just feel like the Chiefs are going to win. I'm hoping the Texans, fingers crossed, but I just think the Chiefs
I feel the same. I mean, the Chiefs have come off a bye week, so they haven't been playing for a little bit. Patrick Mahomes just had a baby, so maybe his mindset isn't in the right place.
What was it, Golden?
Golden.
Yeah.
I would love to see the Texans win, but I think the Chiefs might.
What do you think is going to happen, like, if the Chiefs lose?
You would see me, like, praising in the streets. Like, bow, 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 bow. I would be so happy.
They bring the bull.
If the Texans wins, they're getting 3 big booms. Boom, boom, boom. If you know, you know. Anyway, so that's what I'm hoping for AFC. Then the NFC, we got the other side. Rams and Eagles. I'm giving it to the Eagles. I have the Eagles, Jalen Hurts, Saquon Barkley. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm giving it to the Eagles. How about you, Santina? No question.
The Eagles. Watch us be wrong.
We're like,
and they win.
And then the Commanders versus Lions. Commanders coming off a great win. Lions really dominating this year, the NFC. What are your thoughts, Santina?
I think I'm going to choose the Commanders.
Interesting.
Because they haven't won. The last time they won was 2006 and now. And the game, what was it? 23-20, pretty close. But they were 4-13 last year. This year they have a better record. I'm going to go Commanders. I think they're going to win.
I love your enthusiasm. I'm going to go for the Lions. And what I'm really nervous is if the Eagles, my prediction's right, the Eagles win this weekend and then the Lions win this weekend, that matchup is going to be like insane, absolutely insane, because people have been saying the Lions are going to go to the Super Bowl this year, and then also the Eagles are very like die-hard fans that really rep their team. So that's going to be a dangerous combo if that ends up happening. But one game at a time, one day at a time, just trying to put all positive thoughts into the Bills and to just see what happens.
Yeah, I'm excited.
It's going to be a really good weekend.
But it's also sad because these games are coming up closer to the Super Bowl.
Then
football's ending.
But if you think about it, then it will be our 1 year for Girls Gone Sports. Right. Then we have basketball, some baseball, the draft, and then before you know, we'll be back into preseason and to football.
Woo! Can't wait to see Kendra perform.
It's going to be really good. Yeah, we have to do another Super Bowl episode that we did. If you know, you know, one of our first few episodes where we broke down the Super Bowl pricing, how much would it be to get there, go to the games, all that stuff. So I think that's going to be interesting, and the prices might change depending on it goes. But we will dive deep into that in a few episodes as the Super Bowl comes closer. Yeah. Well, speaking of future episodes and staying with us. If you enjoyed your time here on Girls Gone Sports, make sure you are liking this YouTube video, you are subscribing to our YouTube channel, you're hitting that notification bell so you never miss an episode of Girls Gone Sports. You can find us on Instagram at Girls Gone Sports Pod. We are also on Facebook at Girls Gone Sports, and hopefully still on TikTok, Girls Gone Sports Pod. Please, if you are listening, anybody, please buy TikTok so we can keep it. So hopefully our account is still up there and out for you. And we are also on Spotify if you are listening, and also on Apple Podcasts. Santina, I'm excited. Next week we got some really good stuff to talk about.
Me too, excited.
Yes. So if you want to hear about what's going to be happening this weekend, make sure you come back and see us here for episode 40 of Girls Gone Sports Podcast.
Girls, they wanna have fun. Oh, girls just wanna have